here all day yesterday, but yesterday was a day. So this, most of it, but a majority of it will be about me. Okay, so I'm just warning you already. So yesterday, and I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing good, and most importantly, I hope y'all guys excuse me. I'm a little emotional right now. I don't know why. I'm just, that's the best way to put it. I'm fed up. You know what I mean? I'm tired. I'm grumpy. You know, I need a woman in my life. Yeah, things are crazy right now. How's everybody doing? I'm glad for y'all checking in. Make sure y'all hit them like buttons. Give us a few minutes while I start here. But yeah, I found out a litany of information yesterday. A lot of people lying. Caught some people in some lies. And good thing I'm smart enough to download a certain app so I could bring it to y'all attention, since everybody don't believe me in what I'm saying. And I've seen some of the comments stating that, oh, you were successful. How come, hey, what's going on, Tanya? You were successful. How come you can't do this? And you just a lazy nigger and blah, blah, blah. I've heard that. I've heard it all. So let me tell you what happened yesterday. So yesterday I used the bulk of my day. Hey, Annette, I used the bulk of my day to make phone calls. Hey, Brenda. So what I did was I called the governor's office again. That was my first stop. I did that around about 10 o'clock starting out. Called them, asked them again, have you been able to go through my letter that you requested that I write? Oh, yeah, sure, we got the letter, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, cool. So I said, I know he's lying. That's why the response he gave you, but it's okay. So next thing I did was I said, let me call the Department of Housing. So I called the Department of Housing. And I called the Department of Housing. They had reiterated to me that someone had contacted them. I said, oh, really? They said, yeah, what are your plans and blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, I don't know. Well, can you call our director, Susan? We're going to have her contact you and see what we can do for you. You know, that type of shit. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll live with it. Next thing I say about an hour after that, I get a call from the ex-director. See, this is the thing, and I'm talking about at that homeless shelter. This is the thing. That director is going out of her way right now to try to curb herself. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I mean. She told so many lies recently that now she's trying to compensate for the lies that she's told. And the obvious, I would say, obvious things that she's doing to be, let me say, an insidious woman. That's the best way I can keep it at. So what she did was she made up a situation, and she was hoping that I would go to this next county. And when I get to that next county, she knew that there wouldn't be anyone there to accept me into that county because there's no one at that facility. I'm going to repeat that to y'all one more time. There's no one at that facility whatsoever. They have closed down the facility because of COVID-19. So that was the first lie. Thank you so much, Cash Cow TV. I had mad bread, I would bless you, my G. Well, string a bell 80 if you ever want to. $STRINGERBELL 80, and the PayPal link's in the description too, because I need it. And I'm going to get to that in a minute, why I need it. So I turn around. She doesn't ask me how I'm doing, how's your well-being, how you been, nothing like that. What she refers to me, it says to me, is her whole purpose, and I guess the premise of her phone call was, when am I coming to pick up my stuff? Go fuck yourself. When am I going to pick up my stuff? I'm going to talk to y'all. When am I coming to pick up my stuff? I'm like, that's all you got to say to me? When am I coming to pick up my stuff? So I had to really nicely, but at the same time, I had to tell this broad, look here. First of all, I've already talked to the old director, and the old director already told me. I asked her, I said, yo, do I have a time limit on which I can come pick up my things? She referred to me at that moment and said, no, you're fine. This woman wanted every last step of me gone from her facility. And as long as my stuff is sitting there, I know better. I'm still tired of that place. That's why she wants my stuff out of there. So I said, okay. Sure. But I asked her at the end of the conversation, I said, so what would happen to my stuff if, say, I wasn't able to come pick it up? She says to me, oh, well, we would put it in storage. I said, oh, that's what I thought. And then I hung up the phone on her. So I then called the place that I was supposed to be going to, was supposed to be ending up, and I finally talked to George. Hey, George, how you doing? Because I know you on my YouTube channel because you mentioned something and you messed up. You messed up when you said something. So that's how I know you're on my YouTube channel. See, what happened was one of the workers that was at the facility got wind of my YouTube channel. I think she got wind of my YouTube channel one day when I was having a conversation with one of the people up in there, and I put that up. He had said, "Yo, man, I'm glad that you're speaking up for us," and da. And being the vicinity it was in, I know that's what it was. She heard it. The only thing you gotta do is put in my name, I'm gonna come right up. So, hey, I get it. So that would lead me to believe, and then on top of that, I told the governor's office, and I sent them a link, which you guys can't see because it's unlisted, but I sent them a link so to give them basically a testimonial of what everything that was going on. So to give y'all a quick rehash, I came in the worst time that I possibly could to that homeless shelter, because we had a lady that was retiring or moving on or going to another job, which was a director, which was a nice woman. I have nothing bad to say about her for what she's presented to me. And then we had another woman that was my social worker, which also was on maternity leave or getting ready to go on maternity leave. And subsequently, throughout her journey, since I was there, had some issues with her pregnancy. We want to say God bless her, because she's a good woman, good Latina sister. I'd never say anything bad about her. You know what I'm saying? Plus, she's from Brooklyn originally, so shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing bad to say about Fortuna or Phyllis. No. I have something to say about this woman, Peggy. Now, I called one of my friends that's still at that homeless shelter, and I said to him, I said, "Yo, man, what's going on with you?" And he said, "Yo, man, they gave me a release date now." I said, "What? When they want you out there?" He said, "Yo, they want me out here by the 17th. So then there was another older gentleman that's there. He ain't too older. He's like 55, and he's a black gentleman. And I said, "Yo, what's up with you?" He said, "Yo, they want me up out of here too. They want me up out of here by the 20th of next month." I'm like, "Word?" So now all this is putting together. Now, they don't only 3 that's got to go. You know why they got to go? Because they've been there a long time like I have, and they part of the old caseload before she came. Now, back to George. So I talked to George finally, and George is telling me, "Oh, well, you got to call 211. I said, "Well, why I got to call 211? And if y'all guys are not familiar, 211 is the number that you call when you, like, you know, you homeless or whatever, and you need one of the facilities to stay. Then you have to call them first, and then they facilitate everything after that. So I said, "Well, why do I have to call 211 if I've already been set in the system and I was supposed to be transferred?" That was confusing. Well, that was a lie too. These people have now started lying back and forth with each other. And another thing that I found out is each one of the facilities, depending on which one it is different. So they have a different set of rules. They don't have to abide by the same amount of rules. But one thing that they didn't count on was, you didn't pay attention to my mental stability. See, I'm up front with all my stuff. I suffer from depression, and I suffer from extreme anxiety attacks. Like, you guys don't even know. I can't even fancy it to you or explain it to you or whatever. The type of, like, they give me medications, and like, I think that was a problem the other night because homegirl came on there and she was like, "Are you high?" No, I took a pill that I usually don't take, but my anxiety attacks, when they get real heightened, I take one of those pills to just calm down my anxiety attacks, because it's like you can feel it in your body. It's like it almost takes over your body, because it's a form of nervousness, alertness, and everything else is mixed in together, and it just makes you literally like that. So I took one of those pills. It makes you very sleepy. It makes you feel like you're doped up, and that's why I don't take them. You know what I mean? And so that's why, to answer y'all question, y'all always see me smoking a cigarette a lot of times, because I'm like, something's jolted in me, something's bumped off in me, you know, whatever. Hey, Star Pepper. So I play along with it, and I said, "Okay, all right, George, I'm gonna call 211. So when I called 211, which I recorded, y'all gonna be surprised by that. I'm gonna clip all this together today so y'all can hear it. So when I called 211, I tell the lady, "Listen, let me explain to you, because you're not familiar with my situation." So I try to explain it to her. I figured it out already about your mental stability. Exactly. So I try to talk to this lady, explain to her what's going on with me or whatever. Just like the rest of them, she tells me, sir, I need you to slow down for a minute. Not worried about anything I got to say, not worried about my individual situation. All our situations are different when we come into the homeless shelter systems. Like, some people are there because they're drug addicts all their life. Some people come in there because they're alcoholics all their life. Some people just got messed up like me. Some people had their wives leave them. It's all litanies of different excuses why people are there. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like one unilateral chain while we all homeless, and I think that's what a lot of people figure. Everybody that's homeless don't look the same. There's a lot of people, quote unquote, if you want to say well-dressed homeless niggas that are out here that this were these people and they're trying to maintain who they are. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. Like when you're in a situation, like, and I'm gonna go back to what I was saying, like your mental stability is challenged, but not only that, your dignity and your pride, and it's almost an attack basically on your manhood. Not only that, but who you are as a person. Does that make sense? And so you start asking yourself some questions, and then the first thing you try to do is you try to maintain the person you are. So I think that's an effort when that happens, what's going on really, and a lot of people just don't understand that. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people don't understand that or take the time to delve into the information that's available. But I will say this: if you can phantom the dead of winter, January, you're out on your own, you don't know what the next step is going to be or whatever, you can't literally, I don't know how to explain it, you can't literally plant your feet down anywhere and get a job because you don't know where you're going to be. So that's why I was telling all you guys when I was out there in Connecticut, I was telling everybody, I was like, look, I don't want to get a job here because I'm leaving here. I was never supposed to be there, and that's why I'm telling you guys a story. So upon calling 211, the lady started getting loud with me, irate, whatever. She was either, I couldn't tell exactly what she was, but it ended up with her hanging up the phone on me. Now I said, ma'am, if you just let me finish, it would make so much sense. You won't have to. She just knew she had the answers for me, and that's the problem. The people at that facility, they do the same thing to us. It's like, yo, shut your mouth. We don't want to hear what you got to say. Just shut your mouth. We're going to do what we want to do. You're not going to do what you want to do with me. You understand what I'm saying? No, just like I told him yesterday. I said, listen, I don't have another 4 months to give you. I don't have another 5 months to give you. I don't have another 6 months to give you. In 6 months, my birthday will be here. You understand what I'm saying? May 14th. You think I'm going to spend that shit in the same situation I am right now? My man hit me the other night. He said, yo, man, you might want to hit the block. He might be right. I'm a two-time felon. I was a felon before I got with Bad Boy Entertainment. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people in the industry that claim they street or all that shit or whatever. I was really doing that stuff. My first gun charge was at 16 years old. I was really doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? When I got out on the street, I got caught with over, 200-something grams of cocaine. The second time I got caught with a whole bunch of weed. I'm not bragging on that. I'm just trying to tell you. After all that happened, then I went to Bad Boy. By chance and luck. Shout out to Rome for that. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, but I called back to 211 after that. And when I call back to 211, I get another one. And this woman, I would give her, she's a little bit more conditioned, and she listened to my story a little bit more. And she's like, well, I don't know exactly what to tell you, what to do. What I would tell you to do is give them a call, blah, blah, blah. Like, nobody has no answers for nothing. So I said, okay, let me give George a call back. So I give George a call back. Now George is turning his whole tempo. He's like, well, why don't you come on in Friday? First he tried to get me to come by there Thursday. And I said, okay, cool. So then he changes the conversation up from a cot to a hotel room. Now, y'all remember me saying before, these people were supposed to put me in a hotel room. They weren't supposed to put me in another shelter. They were supposed to put me in a hotel room. Now, all of a sudden, he got a hotel room. Now, was that for me calling the governor's office or what it was? I don't know. He tells me when I'm in the hotel room, I'm going to be in the hotel room with other people. I'm like, huh? I'm going to be in the hotel room with other people? What you mean? No. You're not going to put me in a hotel with nobody. You understand what I'm saying? One, that's too close quarters for anything. Two, I don't even know who you put me in there with. And like I'm trying to tell y'all, and I told y'all before, and I could prove this because talking to my homeboy that's still there, he said that they replaced one of our other boys that was there with another loopy. You understand what I'm saying? Now, this other loopy evidently is, since I've been gone, is walking around in circles, all kinds. This is the type of people of preference the new director would rather have there than people like me or people like OG or people like my other man D. You know what I'm saying? Who are solid dudes, don't go around starting trouble, don't do anything but do what they're supposed to do. When I was there, I mopped, I cleaned the day. The last day I was there, I was cleaning the microwave as I was talking to the director in the hallway. Lie, say I wasn't. And don't nobody clean that microwave. I was mopping before that, my area and other people's area. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know how everybody be on the dash in the morning because everybody's running. There's only 2 showers, so everybody's running to take a shower. Everybody's running to go to breakfast. Really, everybody's day really begins at around 6 o'clock in the morning, even if we don't have to leave there until freaking, what's his name, until 10 o'clock in the morning, and then don't return back at 10 o'clock at night. You understand what I'm saying? Your whole day has to be coordinated around homelessness. You understand what I'm saying? And with that said, George replies to me when I asked him this question. I said, how long is it going to take you to get me housed? Because that's what I'm supposed to do. I qualified supposedly for a program, but I would only be paying 30% of my rent a month. Nobody can clarify that I got that program. This one chick that replaced Fortuna, who was my previous social worker, this little girl, because that's what she is, a little girl, which is now almost 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and she still has not called me back as I asked Peggy to have her call me, because Peggy is lying, or Peggy had her lie, or either Peggy wrote that in there. But there was 2 things that were discrepant. Okay, now I've been online with y'all all this week, all right, since the beginning of this happened. You know what she wrote in a report? That she had been in constant contact with me. This white chick said this. She had been in constant contact with me, and her and I were working on solutions. Chick, I talked to you one motherfucking time, and that was in your office when you were introduced to me by Fortuna. We ain't never had no motherfucking conversation about nothing. We ain't talked about nothing. We ain't chatted about nothing. No nothing. Another lie. I refrain and say this to the gentleman when I'm on the phone with him so he understands this. He's now acting like he's shocked. Y'all please hit that like button like Divalicious said. What up, Kareem? So I'm like, all right, cool, I got you. So I know they lying, but you don't let them be alert that you know they're lying. You just note and say, okay, I got something to contradict that. You understand what I'm saying? I want you to show me not only on camera, but I want you to document the times that you talk to me, you lying ass motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? And that lying ass director that you got with you that claims she from the church, which I'm gonna get into too, in that little raggedy ass wannabe church that run that homeless shelter. Because them motherfuckers, they just as guilty as the people that are in there, because y'all hired that chick. And if you ask me, they hired her to do exactly what she's doing, being a nuisance. There now, from what my homeboy told me, 2 employees that just quit because of the same director. So I'm making this up. So I talked to George a little bit more further. When I talked to George a little bit more further, he starts giving me ultimatums. Oh, well, you know, if you don't come in tonight, you know, there's somebody else who need the bed, and, you know, then he runs this thing to me, and I catch him. Y'all gonna hear this in the recording. He says, you know, you have to make it by here by 5, so meaning that I have to come in there by 5 o'clock in the evening, to make sure that I have a bed. If I'm not back there by 5 o'clock in the evening, I don't have a bed for the night, and whatever happens to me happens to me. Now, I'm still in the program, but I will not have a bed for that night or anywhere to sleep for that night unless I provide it myself. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? This is what this man explains to me, which I'm sure he'll reiterate tomorrow when I meet with him tomorrow. So I said, so then I asked him a question. I said, so you're telling me every evening at 5 o'clock, I just want to make sure I'm clear. Every evening at 5 o'clock, I need to be here or I don't get a bed. He said, well, you know, we want to prioritize giving it to someone else if you're not going to show up, da-da-da-da. And then it hit me. And that's when we got into this discussion. I said, George, let's be honest here, right? And y'all gonna hear this in the recording. I said, George, let's be honest here. The state wasn't prepared for this, were they? And they're still not prepared for it right now, are they, George? Y'all hit those like buttons, please. He refers to me and says, no, they weren't. Not only does he refer to me and say, no, they weren't prepared, they don't even have the space enough to properly put everybody in a certain situation where there's space from each other. I showed y'all a video before where they literally had us next to each other during COVID-19. There's no one in that facility, and I'm imagining There will not be anyone in that facility that I'm going to, because he didn't mention in the conversation, well, you're going to be quarantined for 14 days. He didn't say that. He didn't say anything about, hey, you're going to be situated like this, or da 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 da. In fact, when I went to the first homeless shelter, which was the one I was at previously, they didn't test us there. They're just now getting up to starting to think about testing people and shit like that or whatever. They wasn't doing any of that. To this day, they're not testing anybody. And my mans, and both of my mans are still there, will tell you the same thing. They suggested to us, during the daytime, there's a place called a warning shelter, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with crap like this, but it's a location that you can go to where you can sit inside at a church that's directly across the street from us, all right? Now, I'm going to tell you what type of neighborhood this is. And I will put the link in this video so y'all can see it. There's a link that I put up, and there was a triple shooting at the time that it was probably the second month I was there. It was a triple shooting right across the street from the fucking shelter, perpendicular, even more closer to the warming center that they were suggesting we go to. Not only this warming center, I'm going to show y'all what type of environment they put motherfuckers in. Not only that, but I went up there and filmed right when the Fox News was up there, the local news was up there. I was filming right along with them. They was right out there while I was filming. So if y'all, you know what I'm saying, I'm not making anything up, I'm not exaggerating or whatever. I know it's hard for a lot of people to believe this. Like, yo, how the hell? Yes, it's the truth. So George is now telling me that he wants to meet with me tomorrow. And I don't know what's going to come of it. You know, when I meet with this guy tomorrow, it's a 50-50 or whatever, you know, and keep it moving, my dream. Your drive, perseverance, and assertion will pay off. Thank you very much. I hope it does. Which brings me to this. And I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. A lot of people come on my channel and leave comments or whatever about, oh, you need to get up on your own. You need to pull up the britches and that. Last night, I went on Kevin Samuels' page. Y'all know Kevin Samuels. He does a thing with the women and telling the women that, you know, you're average and all this stuff or whatever. I don't care. I'm not into that. I'm not here to bash women, because women are some of my top supporters. Now, I'm not here for that. And I will say this. It started out with me watching a couple, y'all gonna get what I'm saying in a minute. It started out with me watching a couple of Kevin Samuels videos, because I was contemplating whether or not, while I was in the room last night, whether I wanted to go live. I didn't particularly want to go live inside the room, and it was cold outside, but I didn't particularly want to go live inside the room because of pure simple fact, everybody would hear me. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Cocoa Butter? So I was like, let me just listen to this guy for a little bit. Maybe I'll get up the drive, go outside, film something, right? Y'all hit those like buttons, please. So as I'm sitting there listening to Kevin Samuels' videos, and I'm listening to clips. So some of them are like 20 minutes long, some of them 30 minutes long, some of them are like, 15 minutes long, some of them are shorter. In the midst of me watching all this, he goes live, right? So last night he had women calling in, and they were doing their usual shtick, what's wrong with me? And can I get a quality man? And I'm 48 and I want a man equality, all that shit. And I'm just like, yo, listen, this is the top of our agenda right now. You're talking about quality men in this atmosphere right now. Like, you know what I mean? Who's really even working like that? You know what I'm saying? So one thing that I paid attention to was I started looking at his super chats, which I don't prioritize doing super chats on my channel for one reason. The super chat takes 30% of whatever you donate. Meaning if you donated $100, I actually only get 70. Because Google takes their 30%. I don't know if y'all understand that or not, but that's why I use Cash App and PayPal, because I learned that from Star in the morning. You're doing those super chats. They're taking 30% of your listening. If y'all don't believe me, look it up right now. Look how much money that listening takes from the super chats. If somebody clarify that for me in the thing, they take 30%. That means if somebody donate $100 to me, I'm only getting $70. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, this is what they do. So that's why I don't use super chats, and that's why I don't stream off I use the app instead of using the Windows version or Google version that I could use as well and stream and have the super chat, live chats open or whatever. Some people said, well, won't you use Streamlabs? Streamlabs does the same thing. Hey, Roxanne, Streamlabs does the same thing. Yeah, don't do the super chats, Lucani. The super chats, they take 30% of whatever you bring in, but that's not the point. When I was looking at Kevin Samuels' thing, even though Super Chat takes 30%, and I'm gonna put that together too, because I mobizined it. Now, this is not an attack on Kevin Samuels. This is not trying to pry on Kevin Samuels. This is not watching Kevin Samuels' pockets. What I want to put an emphasis by showing this is the fact that people donate to what they want to donate to. People support what they want to support. And before Kevin Samuels had that live video that went fucking viral, nobody really was screaming Kevin Samuels' name like that in the YouTube ecosphere. All right, let's just get that clear. I had never heard, and I know many of y'all had never heard his voice either until he came into the YouTube ecosphere with his video going viral. Is that fair? Okay. So when his video went viral, everybody started going over to his channel. Everybody started all of a sudden becoming supporters. Everybody all of a sudden, he's the best thing since cooked grease. This was now Kevin Samuels' mantra. And I'm not hating that. I hope I get the same success as he does. But there was 3 things that I paid attention to during his live last night. And I put that, in the community section. So if any of y'all in the community section, y'all know what I'm talking about. The first thing he said was, you cannot shame me. You cannot shame me from donations. That's the first thing I like that he said. He said, you cannot shame me for asking for donations. And the same thing with me. You cannot shame me for asking for donations, especially in the situation I'm in. 2, the other thing that I liked that Kevin Samuels had to say was this. He said, yes, I am trying to become rich and I'm trying to become successful. So what about it? So is everybody else. Everybody else wants financial freedom to get to do what they want to do or whatever. And I agreed with that. The third thing that stuck out to me the most from his whole entire cast was this. I started watching donations pour in. $100 here, another $100, another $100, $50, $20, another $100. I mobizined all of it as it was coming in. And I'm like, wow. When I did a totality of everything he had collected last night, this man had collected almost close to $3,500 for doing a 2-hour stream. $3,500 for doing a 2-hour stream, and he basically wasn't doing nothing but having these girls call in, give their all about whatever situation they had going on, and then after that, hanging up on them. And I said, y'all giving somebody $100, $200, $300, $3,500 for that? But a motherfucker is sitting up here telling you, yo, I ain't got no place to live at. I'm staying in a hotel. You would think my shit would be flooded the same way Kevin Samuels is. Now, Kevin Samuels looks like he lives very comfortably. He's always got some candles burning. He's got his phone lines up, so that means he's paying his phone bill. Kevin Samuels, for all sakes and purposes, looks like he lives a very, very, very good life, or somewhat a good life. Even to more to mention, the video that he had that went viral, I guarantee you he sold nut residuals off that. So I'm not hating on Kevin Samuels. I'm only pointing out the fact that sometimes the people, their direction and where they put their money is in the wrong places. So after I watched Kevin Samuels, it was around about that time I said, you know what, let me watch the rest of Corey Holcomb, which I'm going to do a whole broadcast about that. I'm going to talk about Corey Holcomb, and I'm going to talk about what he's going through, and I'm going to talk about what I saw with him and Zoe the other night, which I did not like. And I'm going to talk about that in a separate podcast. But it was the same thing. I was watching Corey Holcomb's, and I was like, Corey Holcomb's a multi-millionaire. He was even talking about on the show how he getting bread, how he got money in the conversation. In one point of the conversation when Corey's talking to Zoe, which I thought was unneeded, he said, yo, I paid $20,000 to get you off of Aries Spears. $20,000. So if you had $20,000, and then something Zoe pointed out that stuck out, he said, yo, when I first started doing Cash App and started doing donations, you made fun of me, Corey. Now here you are with your own Cash App or whatever, and you're taking donations. And Corey was stuck. He didn't know what to say. He didn't have nothing really to say. What could you say after that point? But, hey, you got a point. I mean, literally, what could you say? And so I looked at Corey's board. Same thing on the Super Chat side of the game. $100, $50, $25, $30. This guy's a multi-millionaire. You see what I'm saying? Do you get what I mean? The guy's a multi-millionaire. I saw Kevin Samuels literally collect $3,500, if not a little bit short of that, last night on his live stream, and I applaud him for that. But what I'm saying is, how come people are not putting concentration during this pandemic on people like me and others that really need that bread? And I'm not here to shake nobody down. I'm not Umar Johnson. I'm not Tariq Nasheed. I'm just pointing out something that I see. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's the lack of as many followers as he does. I think he has like 143,000K. You know what I mean? Maybe that's it. You know? But whoever it is, they're supporting him. They're supporting Corey. They're supporting many other people that are millionaires, well off, or whatever, but not donating to the people that need it. People like myself, people like other people, Umar Johnson, and others. You know what I mean? I'm not the only one. I saw a white guy that started following me, and he's in a worse situation than I am out in California. This dude is actually sleeping outside in his car. Paid $20,000 to get Aries off of Zoe. So that's what happened to the situation. Yeah, he said it last night. He was like, yo, how much did I pay you to get you out that situation? He said $20K. He said, and I was going to plan on paying you back when I get a lick. They got into a wild argument. I ain't like that shit. I didn't like it on either front. I think Zoe had some points, and I said I'm going to do a whole cast about that. But I think Zoe has some points, and I think Corey has some points. I can see where Corey was coming from on some things, because I've seen some things that Zoe has done that make me question him. Like, for example, he had Mimi on the show a lot of times, on his show, and didn't promote Mimi's podcast. You know what I'm saying? Mimi and the Monkey. A lot of people didn't even know Mimi had her own podcast. Y'all should look that up. Mimi and her Monkey. It's on YouTube. He didn't promote that. Last night, Zoe brought up something, and Zoe said to him, yo, you promoted Rizza Islam's book, but you ain't promote my book with the same tenacity. I said, all right, I get that. You know what I'm saying? So they both had points. That's the part I don't want to leave out. They both had points. But for Corey to go to the length and the direction that he went, it was something different for me. You know what I'm saying? It was something very different for me. But I'll talk about that, like I said, in a separate post. The point I'm getting at is, I got people coming on my page telling me that I should put all my motherfucking reserve, all my faith into white folks, when white folks is trying to help white folks right now. All in the town that I was at out there in Connecticut, that's all that was out there is homeless white people. And they are a priority. Homeless white people that are on drugs, homeless white people that ain't never been shit in their life, homeless white people. This is the people they are putting priority on, what they call the extreme homeless. They want them off the street because they paint an eyesore to the town. Based on the fact that they paint an eyesore to the town, and you can see them in such close vicinity. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all something else in a minute too, so y'all stay with me. And please hit the like buttons, and it's $STRINGERBELL80, Stringer Bell 80, and PayPal. Both are links in the description. Because I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here, and I'm gonna explain to y'all how I'm getting out of here. I watch all these white men that are on drugs and everything else going to what I was telling you about, that warming center. And something told me to myself, it said, yo, Davin, don't go up in there because it's gonna be a problem. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by a problem. It was a problem because I knew that the people from the other shelter, which is a wet shelter, that's a shelter where you can go in drunk, high, whatever you want to, and nobody's gonna bother you for being drunk, high, whatever you want to. So it's different from our shelter, which was a family shelter. So, you know, you can't come in there drunk, high, you're not supposed to, but if you don't bother nobody, I guess it's not a big deal. So it's very different dynamic. So when you go over to the warming center or whatever it is, it's a very different vibe. I already knew that, because that's where all the druggies and alcoholics going to go during the daytime, because they ain't got nowhere else to go during the daytime and they're not productive. I was different. I found me shit to do. Okay, let me go live. Okay, let me go out here, or let me go here, or let me check this, or let me look for apartments in this place, or you know what I'm saying? Because when she told me I was only going to be paying 30% of my rent, I started looking for apartments. You know what I mean? Now she talking about, oh, we want to move into a roommate situation and da-da-da-da-da, and, you know, there ain't no guarantee we're going to have anything. This is the shit these people are telling me on the phone, and I have recorded. So I'm like, you know what? If I go back into this shit, I'm going to be here for another 5-6 months based on the duration of this pandemic and based on the fact that a lot of landlords are trying to get rid of people right now. They're not so open to fucking renting people, especially here in the Northeast. And this is being reiterated by people in Jersey. This is being echoed by people in New York. This is being echoed by people in freaking Connecticut, especially. Because Connecticut, out of the tri-state, is supposed to be the richest one. And for some reason or another, they didn't have money to prepare them for this. So basically what that man told me was first time George told me, he said, well, I don't know, I don't know about a hotel room and all this, that. He was gazing me along because he didn't want to give me a hotel room, or he didn't want to let it be known to me that there was a hotel room. Which in itself is like weird to me. I don't never use race as an excuse for things, because as y'all seen, I've had numerous contact with police. Y'all see how I worked my way through that. It was actually nice to me on 3 occasions. Did y'all not notice that? I've never had a real problem except maybe once or twice with police. One time in Jersey, which I put up for you guys, and another time I had when I was in motherfucking Miami. You know what I'm saying? And so, and that situation was rectified because the person that was involved was the one that was wrong. So I never had, dang, Davin, wish I was a little young, 57 years old. Boy, yeah, you crazy. And I take down an older chick too. You don't never know. I don't know what you look like, but send me a picture of something in my email. You know what I'm saying? Send me something nasty. No, I was playing. Ain't nothing wrong with a 57-year-old woman. A lot of women are beautiful at 55, 57, 60. You know what I'm saying? I've seen some gorgeous women at that age, so don't you ever say that. You know what I'm saying? I'll take you down. You know what I mean? But back to what I was saying. Connecticut is going broke. They were already going broke, and last year it was reported in the New York Times and the Connecticut Gazette that they lost over 435,000 residents. This is before COVID-19 because there's no jobs there. The people that are graduating from UConn, Yale, Housatonic, Quinnipiac, and all these places are leaving the state. Once they get what they need, they're leaving the state. They're not even staying in New York or the New York area. They're moving to the West Coast and other places. So that is all an example because of the lack of jobs there. The big businesses that were there are pulling out. Ponds is pulling out. Pfizer's pulled out. Hewlett-Packard pulled out. A lot of big-time employees where, like I told you guys before, Connecticut's made up a whole bunch of municipalities and just counties. So a lot of people will drive from each municipality, each county to these jobs, from all over the state, even out of state, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New York, come to these jobs. It's a regular thing with us. So with that lack of that, it stopped and slowed down the economy prior, I'm projecting here, prior to COVID-19 started. Now, when COVID-19 started, the latter part of southern Connecticut got hit just as hard as New York, but the northern part of Connecticut didn't get hit so hard. Now the exact opposite is happening. The higher north end of Connecticut, where I was at, is getting hit hardest, where the southern end is now seeing less cases. That is in the culmination of a whole bunch of other things. But I want to highlight this for y'all. And I'm going to tell y'all the town I was at soon enough so y'all can look this up for y'allself and see, but I'm not going to tell y'all right now. The town that I was at specifically has the highest rising cases of COVID-19 in the whole entire state. The whole entire state. That's why I said the other day, maybe that was God getting me up out of there. Maybe God knew that other nut was going to be showing up and that how I would react to it, just like I reacted to the other nut that was up in there, the black dude. So now they have a white nut up in there. These people in Connecticut that are overseeing things are old. Everybody that I've talked to is old. They're either like 60 plus, on their way out the door, or whatever. These are not people that you can look at and say, okay, well, this is the future of this program, or this is the future of this environment, or whatever. These people are old. They're useless. The ideals and ideologies that they have are things of the past. Nobody gives a crap. The morals that they have, the way they engage in things are old. It's just not productive. It's just not productive at all. And when I talked to this gentleman yesterday, I tried to explain that to him. I said, listen, the way you engage in things and the way things are happening in the state right now, and the perplexity and the rate of which are going to happen, you're not prepared for it. Which you'll also hear in the recording when I post it. So all these things that I've been saying to y'all, whatever, what I'm basically trying to say to y'all is they all came to fruition. It was in the sequence of a couple of calls. Everything that I was assuming was the truth. Everything. That this woman was lying, that she was trying to clean house, that she was trying to get rid of her old cases, which was reiterated from the old director, because she slipped up and said it. See, what they do is they figure that an old African-American and Cuban boy like me ain't too smart. I might say some articulate words here and there, and that's all they figure. They don't know that I'm very, very intelligent. Listen, we was brought up by fucking Diddy, Puff, all right? 16 years I spent with this man, him and Sean Prez. How dumb do you think I am? I went to college for digital media communications. My father and my mother were both smart people. My dad owned his own company. My mother went and got her doctorate in practicing medicine. My uncles and all that. My aunt was my third grade teacher. We don't come from bad families. Speaking of bad boy, isn't that hilarious? We come from good people. And the problem is that a lot of people that are in these positions in government right now in the state of Connecticut are some of the worst backwards people that you ever meet in your life. And these things are being proven over and over and over again, not only by myself, but by the news. Things that I just warned my homeboy about, he now calls me and tells me, hey, they're trying to do the same thing to me by releasing me on the 17th and releasing my other friend on the 22nd of next month. Why? Because they're trying to get rid of the old cases. Anytime you have a new director come in, or somebody that's facilitating over, what happens is, how you doing? What happens is you always get someone, usually, that wants to come in and clean house, meaning they want to get rid of everything that was old, and they want to start fresh and new. Now, anybody with any common sense would understand that and understand why they would want to do it, because they don't want the responsibility of what happened previously. You understand? And which was the case with Peggy. See, Peggy is the type of woman. See, I grew up with white people. I grew up with a lot of Italians, a lot of Greeks. I mention this all the time. So I know them like the back of my hand. A lot of white women will be the most heinous women you will ever meet in a sketch or a portion of white culture. You will have this good 45 to 40% that there's some insidious, nasty women. And this lays case in almost every race. I've had my interactions with bad black women. I've had my interactions with bad Latino women. And I've definitely had my interactions with bad Arab and East Indian and Asian women in my life. You know, where they're just nasty or have this attitude where they're just better than everybody, whatever, a multitude of different reasons. One thing that I could count on, and I knew when walking in that room dealing with these type of white people, was the fact that they were going to lie to me. You understand what I'm saying? And if it came down to it, anything that was a measure that put them in the guys, this bitch is basically trying to save her job and trying to make it look like she's doing an astounding job when she's actually doing nothing or the minimum. You understand what I'm saying? So I came up with a resolution and a solution for myself. As much as I love the Northeast, as much as I love the people in the Northeast, and some of them don't even love me back, I think I need to leave for a little bit. I think I need to leave, go reestablish myself somewhere else, and have some peace. Do y'all know what peace is? Because I ain't had it in a long time. In the past couple months, I ain't did nothing but sleep next to grown men, wake up, hear grown men farting and doing the business and sketching around grown men and everything else. Could you imagine how tiring that is? Not waking up seeing a woman, seeing several grown men circled around you, scratching yourself, whatever else the case may be. It's not their fault. If I was by myself, I'd be doing the same thing. And when I am by myself, and that's one of the things I like right now, being in that room, which I want to thank y'all for helping me pay for. I really want to thank y'all for helping me pay for, especially you, Thomas. It's nothing like that. You know, and I'm sorry I'm not Kevin Samuels and I don't have 143,000 followers. I'm sorry I'm not Corey Holcomb and I have 100 and something thousand followers that are donating to a multimillionaire or donating heavily to Kevin Samuels. I'm not saying don't donate to Kevin Samuels. I'm just saying, why are y'all giving Kevin Samuels money in batches of $100 bills for what? For what? When you got brothers like me, you got brothers, other people, even white guys that are online talking about the same thing they're going through and you're not helping them, but you're giving $100 to a guy that basically impromptu, his whole premise is to bash chicks. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can understand you going on and telling the chick one time, two times, hey, listen, this ain't for you or whatever. But just to subtly, and he does it very well, he subtly disses the women. You understand what I'm saying? Like, even before he talks to him, I told you, anxiety. Even before he talks to him, he's already bashing him. And I peeped this last night when I was listening to him. A girl got on the line, and I think she said she was like 24 years old or something like that. And at the time, he said, well, I'm not even ready to have that conversation with you because you're only 24. And I said, what the fuck are you staring at? He said, I'm only 24, so I'm not ready to have that conversation. I can't go to work, brother. I don't know what that means, Joy T, but evidently you ain't been listening to nothing I've been saying. So let's get your corny ass the fucked up on out of here. I can't stand dumb bitches like that. And I reported you too, bitch. All right. Yeah, we ain't playing that today. This is what I mean by these niggas. They'll come on here and say, go to work, nigga. You need to go to work, nigga. Bitch, I ain't got an address. What you talking about? I'm sitting here telling you about that right now. You talking about go to work without an address? I don't even know if I'm going to be here in a couple of days. Anyway, that worthless ass motherfucker. Point I was getting at is, I can't stand worthless ass people like that, and that's what I'm talking about. Because if you're so good and you're so good at throwing out advice, throw out some money, bitch. And that's right, I called her what I called her. I called her what I called her because you got the audacity to come on my joint and talk about how you feel, what you think you know, where you live at, what's your income yearly. Let's talk about stuff like that. So when we get into conversations like that, we really start digging deep, you'll find out that this McDonald's worker 9 times out of 10 what she was, some chick that works at Wendy's, ain't nobody. And she just gets on here because nobody else will pay attention to her. It's all about attention, all right? It's all about attention. In the regular world, they wouldn't even pay attention to her, you know? And that's the funny thing about it. And most of these motherfuckers that get on and talk or whatever, most people would not pay fucking attention to them in a regular life. That's why they have to go to the extreme to prove their point. And sad enough to say, it's sad. That was dumb as fuck. Y'all want to see this? Let me show you what dumb white people do. This bitch just turned around when she saw this man pulling down the hill right in front of the thing. She was that special. This is the attitude of these people. So anyway, back to what I was saying. You guys have to find a consideration somewhere or another where people like Kevin Samuels, even though they're bashing women or whatever, I agree. I make 134. You see what I mean? Exactly. It's always the people that are least. If you have not made over $100,000 in 1 year, you don't even belong in a fucking conversation with me. You understand? I don't give a fuck who you think you are. You understand what I'm saying? And you better have representation if you come start an argument with me, because I am going to sue your fucking ass. Now, the point I'm getting at is, guys, Kevin Samuels, I have nothing against him. I think he's a great guy. I think he's a great vlogger. I think he makes a totality of basically just getting online and not bashing women, but putting them in a position where you could affect their self-esteem. And their self-esteem, I'll show you what I mean. It's done white woman shit. And she knew those Jeeps were coming down there a million times. She stopped right here because she wanted to hear me talking. That's cool. Make sure you donate too. If a person has never been in this situation, they're not going to understand or be able to wrap their head around it. Okay. Are you a female? Because that's all that Kevin Samuels has come on his channel is females. So if you're not a female, why would you know how it feels? And I'm not attacking you, Net. You know I fuck with you heavy. But if you're not a female, how would you know how someone of that degree would feel? I don't know eternally how a female feels. I have no idea. I'm not a homosexual man, so I don't have any claims to, you know what I'm saying, go around and do what I do what would we call here? Do diatribes on what it's like to be a gay male. I don't know. You know, I'm not attracted to men. So little subtleties right then and there let you know that you don't necessarily have to be in the situation to go through the situation to kind of understand something. What it really is it's this adaptness to want to be seen. See, those motherfuckers that don't know the Colonel Samuels or people like that, they want to be seen. They want to see their name come across that super chat and be like, I donated 100, never. Everybody saw it. I'm a baller, you know? But really, there's no notoriety in that. There's no notoriety in it whatsoever. You donated $100 to Kevin Samuels, you donated $100 to Corey Holcomb or anybody else like that. Any situation, even these fools tell you, any situation, I don't understand what you're saying in that, Foster. Any situation, even these fools telling you to get a job. I will tell you guys again, what should I give them, the hotel room? Tell them I'm on travel, that's my address, I'm on travel. You know what I'm saying? And that, you know, I'm doing a sabbatical right now. Now I don't have a particular address, sir, but you know, if you want to hire me, I might be in Connecticut next week. I might be in Jersey next week. I don't know where I'm going to be next week, but I'll be here. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Does that make sense? So that's not something hard to figure out. If you have a job, then you should know about your employer statuses. You should know about employer decisions. You should know about employer regimen. And those regimens are that you have a steady, what's the name? What are they going to mail it to? They're going to mail my job on text to. See what I mean? It's not the fact of they don't understand. It's that they don't want to understand. They don't care about what you're talking about. They only care if it has some type of controversy that goes along with it. And with Kevin Samuels, it was controversy. What happened with Zoe and freaking Corey last night upped his donations. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm at the point now, I said, well, what I gotta do? I gotta go smack somebody for somebody to support me? You know? That's the problem with a lot of people of color. They're living in a delusional world where not only are they not seeing reality for what it is, but they're not taking in contention of what's going on in the world, which is COVID-19. And I think a lot of people of color and a lot of white people as well are pretending that this pandemic is not still going on. But I would ask you at that time, why do I still have this mask around my neck? You see what I'm saying? You got a brother right now that's reaching out to y'all, asking y'all for whatever, because based on the pure simple fact, he needs help. And you're telling me the same white people that are going out of their means and out of their ways to try to get me thrown out of this motherfucker, I should just put my trust in them. It's way too expensive here. Thank you so much, Jada Banks, for saying that. Jada Banks said, you need your own business. I'm in CT trying to make it out of here. I'm thinking about starting my own business. It's too expensive here. Exactly. And that's what I was telling y'all the other day. Now, Jada, tell me this. When did they raise Connecticut state minimum wage? Tell me that. And tell me how much it was raised to in Connecticut. I want you to write that in the chat so everybody knows that I'm not lying. Tell them how much and when did minimum wage get raised in the state of Connecticut. I already know the answer. It was September the 1st, but I just want to make sure she knows that. You know what I'm saying? Look it up, Google it or whatever. It's $12 an hour. The average going apartment in Connecticut right now will start you out at $1,000. That means you would need 3 of those jobs to actually make the rent. Because they do a criteria in Connecticut where you need 3 times as much as the freaking what's name to actually rent. That's the rule. That's the rule. And most of these places out there that rent apartments to you, that's what they're going to tell you. That's why when I first came on, I said, yo, I'm going to need about $3,000 to move in because of pure simple fact, that's what they're asking. I think people donate for entertainment on YouTube. I like your videos. You already been putting out. You're good, so keep the good work. Oh, I am. Y'all going to have about 4 for me today. all together. Y'all gonna have about 4 for me today. I got a surprise for y'all too. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing this one first. You know, I want to see who really mess with me and see if I got the real tenacity as a Kevin Samuels or anybody else or whatever. Because my move is, I'm getting out of the Northeast. I'm leaving here. I came to that decision probably the day before yesterday when I kept telling these people, see, y'all want me to beg white folks. I'm not begging no white folks. Y'all talking about I'm begging y'all. I'm not begging y'all, I'm asking y'all. But I'm definitely not gonna beg these white people that obviously sit back and show me every demonstration of, we don't give a damn about you. In fact, everything that we promised you, throw that to the side. I have a program that's been told to me verbally I've been accepted by, but for some reason or another, nobody can give me confirmation on when or where or how or if I'm actually in the program. Doesn't that make sense to you? I think New Year's Day, January 1st, 2020, that's when it takes place, but when it was passed was September the 1st, and it's at $12 an hour currently in the state of Connecticut. Connecticut just raised minimum wage, not even, or even had a consideration of it, not until probably 2 years ago. Well, prior to that, it was $11, $10. That's what they just, no, they didn't lie, Jada. What they do is laws don't take effect until the beginning of the year. So whatever they passed that previous year or whatever they passed in that last session, they don't actually take a hold nationally in most places until January the 1st, the top of the year. So that's what they meant by that. It took effect January the 1st, but it was passed September the 1st. If you look a little bit farther, you'll see it. Rent here is $1,300. You depend on your situation. Exactly, $1,300. You heard her just say that? And Jada lives in Connecticut. And Jada, I want to ask you this. Yeah, I've been doing that, but when you're staying in hotel rooms, it's kind of hard to do that. But that's great advice, and trust me, I thought about that before. That's why I was able to afford this hotel room. Get it? Jada, this is the point I'm getting at. I need to get donations to stack money. You understand what I'm saying? I'm leaving here. And I don't care what nobody says or nobody thinks or whatever. I don't have another 4 or 5 months to give. My birthday is in May. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not starting off in the middle of May, still in this situation, whatever, follow into 2022 and we're still in the same situation. No, that's not happening. I'm not about to spend my house up. To buy a house, you need $300,000 and up in CT. It's crazy. Exactly. Al, bye, Elaine, Coder, and Elaine. Fuck you and everybody live in your house. You fucking cunt. Like, I'm on it today. A 1-bedroom in Long Island starts at $1,800, no utilities included. Now that's crazy. Exactly. Long Island's even worse. And Long Island for New York has the highest rate of coronavirus cases in the state. Am I wrong? Right. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Elaine the Coder. I want to tell you to go fuck you and fuck everybody in your whole entire family for saying that dumb shit. These are the coons that come out to talk shit and tell how they're so financially free and they're so financially better than everybody. Until you put them in a room with somebody that's really making some fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Until you let them know to their face, your McDonald's job or your little what's the name? See, a lot of these people think that they act and pretend as if they gonna actually retire from their little blue collar jobs that they got right now. You understand what I'm saying? You really got to realize that there's a person that's sitting there right now that thinks he's going to retire from McDonald's. There's a person sitting there right now on my thing that is saying that I'm going to retire or has a mentality. I'm going to retire as a cleaner or a janitor or a maid or all these old professions that nobody in their right mind wants to fucking work. And you acting because it's a pandemic that's a real job. Let's take the pandemic away. You understand what I'm saying? Let's take the pandemic away. And let's add up 300,000 Americans that aren't working or just filed for unemployment this week alone. So before you talk to me about anything about economics, let me tell you something. Elaine the Coder, with your corny ass name. Bitch, first find out about economics. You uneducated piece of shit. I'm tired of motherfuckers like that. And you're going to start all getting it. Anybody coming me sideways, I'm going to show you the real me. You understand what I'm saying? And please keep in mind, I pull up in houses, I take addresses, you know what I'm saying? If your kid is over 15, he can get smacked with you if you say something. I'm on that shit again. And if you don't believe me, try. I dare you. Elaine Dakota, I was begging the hospital too, so you wouldn't give birth. I was begging the hospital that you wouldn't be born. We was all begging. We was begging, we was hoping. But you keep talking, I want you to keep talking. You think I give a fuck with some Elaine Dakota? You trying to be seen because don't nobody like you. Every time somebody come on my page talking crap like that, you always find the same thing. Thank you, Roxanne. You always find the same thing. Always find the same thing. They got 8 followers and they had the channel up for 13 years. You lose the motherfucker. You ain't getting no ground out of me. I just block you. You begging. Elaine Dakota said you begging. She better than everybody. You begging. You don't go over there and tell Mr. Beast he begging. Mr. Beast got 97 million followers. You understand what I'm saying? Second largest motherfucker on YouTube. You understand what I'm saying? His whole thing is about donations. You don't go over there and talk to, matter of fact, you don't go over there and say that to any white blogger. You take yourself specific for black and Latin bloggers because you feel that black and Latin men are under you. When in actuality, I bet you if we check, this bitch ain't nothing more than a nurse, work a blue collar job, or something that ain't of no significance in the regular world. But she thinks she's special. You know what I'm saying? So Elaine Dakota, because I'm pretty sure you're trying to embark on a YouTube career, and you did that by trying to jump on my channel and say that goofy ass shit you said. Oh, fuck you and everybody that live in your house, you cunt. So anyway, moving on. I don't like women like that. I feel like they raising rents everywhere up here, so everyone will move back down south so they can induce slavery again. They know what they're doing. Now, at least you said something that was deep right there, and that was one of the things that kind of scared me. You know, I know there's a lot of things that go on down south, a lot of shit. I lived down south for a minute, and I've seen some of the raising things and some of the top stories that we've had, including violence from the police against black individuals and everything like that. It seemed to be always highlighted except for a couple in the South. I mean, if you go from Freddie Gray, Trayvon Martin, whatever. So I get that. But also there's a plus. I don't plan on going down there and you know, running amok. I plan on going down there and meeting some new friends. I plan on getting out of the Northeast because, like I said, it's ridiculously expensive here for nothing. For nothing nowadays. There's nothing open. Most of the people here are assholes or losers. You know what I mean? I'm a 30-year-old female that's going to make it out of this state. Davin, you will make it. I was watching you for a while. Thank you very much, Jada. People don't understand it until it happens to them. Oh my, bueno, I'm on like now. What's up, kid? It's unfortunate, but this is the reality of a lot of people in the culture. So that's why I told y'all just a little while ago. I bet you that same broad, what's her name? Elaine Dakota. Y'all go check out Elaine Dakota. You know what I'm saying? I just motherfucking blocked her ass because she was just corny. But Elaine needs the support. So y'all go check out Elaine, see what she got to talk about. See if she talk about anything even near the same complexity that I am. And I guarantee you she isn't. She's probably doing the same thing the average YouTuber does. Gets a story from the news, rehashes it to everybody, and talks about dumb shit. Yeah, we all do it. You know what I mean? But I do a clip of it and it's no longer than 2 minutes. Some of these people will make a whole damn show out of it. You know what I'm saying? About what? About what? About what? Y'all want me to go begging and groggling to white folks, but won't even help your own people. Anybody like Elaine Dakota that would say something like that, y'all need to take her on a boat and throw off that motherfucker quick and say you worthless. Elaine Dakota is the type of motherfucker that would turn around and be like, they running, boss, they running. They running, boss. What we gonna do, master? They running again. That's what she would have been on the plantation. That's what y'all don't realize. Y'all have to take some of these people that come on my page and just take them for example, because what they're doing is they're showing you who they really internally are. The pay is not less up north. Nah. Oh, you talking about further up north, like going towards Massachusetts and all that or whatever? It might be. It's a possibility. I know Massachusetts is extremely higher than Connecticut and Rhode Island. I know that much for a fact. Everybody's leaving out of Rhode Island too. That's the other space. Everybody's leaving out of Rhode Island mostly because Rhode Island was already a bad place. Hey, what's going on, Mitchie Bay? Rhode Island was already a bad place in general, but the problem with Rhode Island was, especially Providence had a litany of different violence that was going on for the longest. And as a result of that, what happened was a lot of the state itself deployed. We had a guy named Cianci that was probably in there I'm gonna say early 2000s, something like that. But Cianci up in Rhode Island, what he did was he got involved in all this type of different shit, and it just subsided on him. You know what I mean? So what happened was, at the end of the day, man, Cianci basically almost brought down the whole entire goddamn state. Hey, what's going on? Ain't nothing much, you know, hood boogers and wannabes. Some chick named Elaine Dakota. You begging? Chick, I don't give a fuck what you got to say. I'm gonna save my life regardless. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you just keep it a buck and say you ain't got no money? You know what I mean? I'm gonna live with that. You know what I'm saying? Don't get on here front and talk. You begging? You can't shame me, ho. You know what I'm saying? I want to show y'all something real funny. I'm gonna show y'all something real funny. I see this white woman right here walking with that blue coat on. The whole time I've been sitting right here, that's why I tested her ass. She kept walking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, call herself watching me. See how she doing? These people y'all want me to beg. Please help me, Mr. White Man. My folks won't help me at all. I want y'all to watch this chick. She was walking back and forth, pacing right here the whole time I was talking to y'all. As soon as she saw me walk up the hill, she wanted to turn around. I don't want to stun on nobody. That is not my purpose. I do not want to stun on the people. Now all of a sudden she going straight. But she had just spent the past half hour, the whole time I was on live with y'all, walking back and forth, walking back and forth. And these are the folks y'all want to. I'm not telling y'all all white people are like that, because they're not. In fact, most white people are not like that. But there's a segment in white population that is like that. And for y'all to sit here and tell me that I should sit there and beg these folks, that these folks have literally told me out of their own mouths, you understand what I'm saying? We do not want you here. We don't want you here. That's what they're telling you. They don't want you there. You understand what I'm saying? And tell the rest of the niggas. That's what they're telling you. You understand what I'm saying? So whether it's Kevin Samuels, whether it's Corey Holcomb, or a litany of different other YouTubers that are multimillionaires, well off, or whatever, and everybody's donating to them because they want to see their face on that screen. They want to see their name on that screen for whatever reason. Then you have to ask yourself, where is your dignity? Where is your reality? Because let me tell you something, those same white folks that kicked me out of that homeless shelter, you better believe they're going to take care of their own. And what's going to happen when the war starts and they ask you, are you taking care of your own? What's your answer? Anybody got an answer? Because if somebody came and asked me that question right now, I'll be like, I can tell you several people, even as I've been fucked up, I've helped people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there was a man standing outside the goddamn store the other day. He ain't have a dime to his pocket. Yo, homie, here you go. Gave him $2. I don't know what he did with the $2, but I gave him $2. I hope he went in the store and bought him something to eat. You know what I'm saying? I bought another man a coffee the other day. I got another man a sandwich the other day, because I know what it's like. I'm part of the homeless crowd. Whether people believe me or don't believe me, whatever, that's up to you. I don't care. You know? But I think there's enough evidence and situation to show you otherwise. You know? We got to get better than trying to make fun of our own people or ride somebody because of pure simple fact they popular on YouTube. Like, I even notice when my stuff boosts up and I start getting more, like, I go through these segments where I'll get a lot of views and then I won't get too many views, and I'll get a lot of views and I won't get too many views. You know what I'm saying? I go, my girl right there has donated $25 to me. Thank you, sister. I appreciate it. I ain't gonna say your name, but thank you, sister, for donating that $25. I went down south and had a 3-bedroom apartment, central air and heat. I only paid for electricity, which was maybe $60 a month, and food wasn't high, and my rent was only $5.10. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm telling you, I'm leaving. That's exactly why I'm leaving. There's no reason to be in the Northeast with these dizzy white people that, well, let me show y'all something. Let me show you something. Remember I just told y'all she wouldn't walk up the hill when I was up here? She saw me walk up, and now here she is again. Look at the bitch. This type of white people we gotta deal with here. Old, corny ass white people. She wanna play the hall monitor. See what I'm doing. Why you worry about what I'm doing? Y'all hit those like buttons for me, please. Why you worry about what I'm doing? That's the problem with these white folks. Devin, don't let them get to you, babe. I'm trying not to. I want to smack a motherfucker, to be honest with you, but, you know, I just like watching these people because they do such silly things. But my mom died, so I came back to bury her peacefully. I understand that. God bless. Divalicious, realist, Divalicious, Annette. Who else can I say? Divalicious, Annette, the other one. It comes by LaDawn, and maybe a few others. They just consistent. Y'all see that shit, right? Y'all still think I'm making shit up? Y'all saw that, right? Okay. Y'all think I'm making shit up. This is the type of shit they do. And some people won't be like, oh, you just paranoid. Ain't paranoid, nigga. I watched what this bitch do. She was doing that pacing back and forth just a minute ago. Y'all some real women on my page. But what I'm trying to figure out is, where all these petty ass motherfucking men that were on the page, on Kevin Samuels' page, donating $100, $200, whatever. I got the shots, nigga, because nobody would believe me when I said it before. So I'm gonna show y'all what these niggers put their money into. They put their money into being seen. Everybody want to be a motherfucking superstar. Well, ain't nobody got superstar, what's the name? I ain't staying humble with no motherfuckers that come on my page and talk all kinds of shit to me. Like that fucking broad, what's her name? I'm gonna go see her too, Elaine Dakota. That's why I reported your ass. I'm about to light your page up with reports. You understand what I'm saying? Let's get you off of YouTube. How about that? You know what I mean? Anybody come at me like that sideways, and you know my situation, know I'm fucked up or whatever, I'm not being humble with niggas no more. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I wasn't humble with that white broad at that fucking homeless shelter. I turned up on her. I turned up on motherfucking the governor's office. I turned up on, because it comes a point in life where you just get to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm sick and tired of niggas, man. I've been a good person to people all my life. Ain't too many people can say anything different. And I'll be motherfucking damned as soon as I get a situation, I need some help. You know what I'm saying? The people, I'm not even talking to y'all. I'm talking about the people that I used to work for. I've had everybody come at me, and I'm like, wow. Because that's the way they always felt. You understand what I'm saying? I know you are, Diva. That's the way they always felt. And I ain't talking about you. I would never talk about you like that. I would never talk about Annette like that. I would never talk about Roxanne like that. I would never talk about LaDawn like that. I wouldn't talk about Miss Tip like that. Y'all never have an issue with me. You understand? You said I'm a mess. For real. I'm on some different shit today. You understand? It broke my heart. I'm like, yo, some of the money I saved, I'm not spending on motherfucking hotel room. I just tell them, don't watch me watch TV. No, I'm start punching motherfuckers in the face again. I'm stupid. I keep trying to tell y'all, like, I got a reputation for that. Punching motherfuckers. They used to tell me on the team, they'd be like, yo, son, don't go punching nobody in the face. Don't go do that, because I do it quick too. Be like, huh? You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't ever see it coming because I'm so little. So they think, oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. I hit hard. You know what I'm saying? I work out all the time, so I hit hard. You understand? So when I hit them, they don't even realize it's coming. Or the shit I say to white people, they don't expect me to say to them. You know what I'm saying? White people can't stand when you say something smart to them. They be like, what you say to me, boy? I laugh at them. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? What you gonna do about it? Why don't y'all try it out sometime? Instead of turning up on me, go turn up on some of these white folks. You know what I'm saying? They're collecting donations or whatever the case may be. Go turn up on them and see what response you get, or you're scared. Because a lot of these motherfuckers are scared and sit up and want to talk shit to me and act like nothing happened. Son, if you that brave, like Elaine Dakota, send your motherfucking address, see if I'll pop up at that motherfucker. I'll catch your ass right when it's ready. Ain't no more games. Niggas is out here trying to get it, trying to get up out of here. I ain't trying to hear it. So guys, I'm gonna get up off here. I'm gonna do some more. They said my venting. The switch trying to tell me to put my faith in the white folks, in the white system. You understand what I'm saying? That's a one-hitter quitter. That's factory. You understand what I'm saying? You ask any of them niggas up at Bad Boy, they will tell you that. I was known for snuffing a motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no ifs, ands about it. I was known for snuffing a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And I was known for popping at you at another time in my life. You understand? It used to be a time, like, honestly and truthfully, we used to keep the things on us so much, it was like second nature. You know what I mean? Factory. I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna be safe. I'm just finding out who you are is a blessing, even if it hurts. Finding out who is there for you, yeah, it does. It does. It does. It absolutely does. And right now, I ain't got nobody. I ain't got no mom, my dad, my sisters. They got their own hardships. You know, it's a whole bunch going on. You know what I mean? My sister want me to come out there with her, and I think it's about that time. You know, man, y'all ain't seen my videos. Let me give y'all a quick recap. Money, remember Money that started this shit with me at the mall? Did y'all hear what I said to him finally? If y'all didn't watch the whole video, I said, yo, you mad at me because I snuffed your man yesterday, and I told you at the same time I snuffed you too if you don't get the fuck out of my face. You understand? And what happened? The whole time he just antagonized, waiting for the cops to come. I said, yo, you mad at me for snuffing your man, and if you don't get out of my face, I'm gonna snuff you and snuff him again too. Now I just laid this man's out. You understand what I'm saying? That's why he had a problem. That's why he had a problem. You know what I mean? And when I said that, he shut up. You had 3 opportunities to get busy with me, and you ain't do none of them. And then the third time when my mans in him showed up, he was going to duff you out. You want to take off running. Now you're scared going to get security. Most of these white folks, they jump in your face, they antagonize you because they're scared of you. You understand what I'm saying? And their only line of defense is calling police. And when the police get there, it's up to you not to lose your cool, as y'all see with me, and keep it one being with yourself. You understand what I'm saying? That's the key. Stop being scared of whites and stop bashing on your own people and start riding on them the same way you ride on us when we in this port of despair. Yes, I'm a man. Yes, I'm a grown-ass man. Yes, I am. I'm also a YouTuber. I'm also a person that has feelings. I'm also a person that's going through strife right now. I'm also a person that suffers from depression and anxiety. You don't bring that up. No, people like Elaine the Coder, because she's so fucking smart. You begging. You begging. Doing a worldwide pandemic, doing homelessness. I'm begging. I'm begging. You ain't good enough for us. Go get you a job, nigga. Where? With no address. Where? With no guarantee that I'm going to be in the same area tomorrow. I don't even know where I'm going to be at tomorrow. Did you ask me that, Elaine Dakota? No, you just threw out the typical nigger slave shit that most of them do. I got a job with Massa. Why didn't you? Loser. The only person I like to have something good to say in reference to that was Jada. And Jada hit it right on key. I used to run my own business, and I've mentioned this to you guys before. It was my own business regardless. I go buy wholesale, resell to wholesale. That game that I was doing with the CDs and DVDs is over. Everybody in CT that know me for that. Elise, you be good too. Bye, sweetie. Not to mention in this pandemic, many jobs are not available. Thank you so much, Don Smith. Not only are not that many jobs available, the hours in which, and one of the brothers brought that up on here, and I'm glad he said that, because he said that about his own job. He said very few jobs are even offering over 5 to 6 hours a day at 4 days a week, which is going to be the biggest problem here in the tri-state. Yeah, people are working, but they're only working 4, 5, 6 hours a day because the businesses' hours have been shortened. So unless you're a nurse, unless you're a doctor, unless you're a cab driver, which many people ain't traveling that much anymore, unless you're any of this, by at least exactly, unless you're any one of those things, what part don't you understand? Huh? I just say this, man. I'm gonna get up on off of here. Y'all hit those like buttons for me, please, if y'all can. I'll just say this for y'all. In a few days here, y'all gonna see me, if not a week, 2 weeks, or whatever, in a different place. And I don't care if I gotta use the last dime I got, and I'll get there eating oodles and noodles. I'm getting the fuck up out of here, and I'm getting away from these crazy, nasty, belligerent, self-preservation ass whites they have here in the Northeast. These whites in the Northeast have turned into the whites of the South. And all of it is in proportion of a lot of the stuff that has happened with Donald Trump. I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. A lot of the things that you're seeing right now are in connection with Donald Trump. And the sad thing about it is, a lot of the stuff that Donald Trump, here she come again. Watch this shit. Watch this dumb bitch. A lot of the stuff that's going on with Donald Trump doesn't necessarily do with Donald Trump per se. It has more so to do with the economics going on. And one of the economics of what's going on is this country right now at this moment is receiving. If you ain't staring her, don't stare at me. Like I said, that's a nigga for you. He ain't stare at that white bitch who want to stare me all up in my face. Motherfuckers be crazy. One of the problems with that whole veracity of people like Donald Trump is he has started the notion with many people where now a lot of those people are so much gaining momentum with each other that now what they're doing is they're enacting and acting out whatever individual clause or whatever individual what's the name they have, and they're doing united as one, saying this is for white folks, and they're going to preserve their white culture no matter what it is. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to try to protect their whites in their culture no matter what. And that's why you're seeing someone like Peggy or Phyllis or within that diaphragm of that system that they have lie on me and everything else. And these are the same motherfuckers y'all telling me put your faith in. They gonna help you. I was in the same position before with my kids. I don't have kids. I was in the same position myself before. And I got out. That was before COVID-19. You understand what I'm saying? I had one time, this was the funniest one. Somebody tried to compare them living in, I think it was Kentucky, to living in what's going on here in New York. And I said, if you don't shut the hell up and get off my timeline, I was in a homeless shelter in Kentucky, and I worked out just fine with me and my 2 kids. I don't have kids. And I don't live in Kentucky. And Kentucky doesn't have the same populace as New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut. So what are we talking about here? These people just talk and don't even think about what they're saying before they say it. And if you think I'm going to sit back and put my faith in white folks before I put my faith in the people that look like me, you out your motherfucking mind. You out your mind. Put my faith in them for what? For what? I'm not one of them, so why would they prioritize me? You understand what I'm saying? Why would they prioritize me? So somebody answer that question for me in the chat. Why would they prioritize me? I'm not going to prioritize you. The key to the word is self-preservation. And everybody's enacting that self-preservation within their culture. African Americans are not as much, but I do see every other one. So I have to ask that question, like, why is that? Why is it that we support somebody like Kevin Samuels, but not the opposite way around? And nobody has an answer to that. Why is it what Kevin Samuels is able to grab $3,500? If I was able to grab up $3,500 real quick, I'll leave tomorrow. In NYC and the tri-state, Mitch, babe. You know, New York City is seeing the ramifications of that now. And I know you know what I'm talking about if you live in New York or in Connecticut or in Jersey. Like, they're seeing the ramifications of not being prepared economically or otherwise for years. It's been deplorable in New York and in Connecticut for a couple of years, especially in New York and Connecticut cities. Hartford, if you go up to Hartford look like Newark, New Jersey. They can compare their situation to they can compare your situation there. They can't compare their situation to mine. You understand what I'm saying? In no form of facility can they. And that's what it is. It's always a tick for tack a lot of times with the people that they feel like, oh, okay, you know, I went through the same thing. No, you didn't. And you're not me. So why are you comparing yourself to me? That doesn't make sense. To compare yourself to anybody, put yourself in comparison with anybody is a no-no. That's one of the things I made sure I didn't do in the music business. I never compared myself to someone else. I never in the music business tried to elate that I want to be like so-and-so or whatever. I never did that, because as soon as you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure, because now you have to emulate that person that you're pretending all the time. It pretty much, and I'm just like, how, Sway? How? You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is simple math that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And you would think that somebody would know, but nah. Let me tell you something. Men of color have been hit the hardest by this pandemic. Men of color are the most ignored in this pandemic. They have more empathy. I've seen, and I hate to say this is like this, I've seen black people jump on YouTube would have more empathy for a drunk white man than they will for their own. This is fact. I don't care what nobody say. You know, we can sit around, do the tit for tats over and over and over again, but at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves this question: what is a solution? Anybody got a solution? I'll tell you what the solution is. Watch where you're putting your fucking money. How about that? You're giving your money to millionaires, people that you can see obviously are not appreciative of the money that you're giving them. You know, I do everything I can. I write posts, I do video posts, everything like that. I'm very humble when it comes to that. What I'm not humble to is when somebody come on my page, tell me what the hell I be doing. All right, so you got a job, you got something to offer, you got something, you got a crib stand. What's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? You invite me to the crib or something? Like, what's up? What's up? You know what I'm saying? And then when you start asking those hardline questions, everybody get quiet. And I try to be that. I try to be as positive as I can about things, but at the same time, after a while, you just start getting to the point where you're just like, you know what? Fuck everybody. And that's where I'm almost at. You know what I'm saying? Not y'all. I'm just talking about just certain elements in the culture I just do not like. You know what I mean? I see the chuck. I see when people are sitting there and they're literally making videos. About, and I hate to say this about Kevin Samuels, about nothing. You know what I mean? And able to collect $3,500 in a night. But your boy, I bet you I couldn't make $3,500 in a day. I bet you I couldn't do it. 20 years of BS in the Bronx, and I'm Bronx raised and a caseworker in the Bronx. How do you feel about, what are you a caseworker for exactly, Mitch Bay? Because I heard you mention that before. What are you a caseworker for exactly? Are you in the what's the name? Are you in the system there, or like I want to know that. Like, if you can, type that in and tell me exactly what you're part of and what part of the system and what you work in, because I like to know that. Because the New York City, the Connecticut, and the Jersey system is flawed. It's extremely flawed. It's flawed to the point where you can't honestly and truthfully expect someone to help you. What they do is they keep you stagnant there for months on months in until it's time for you to ride out. HRA housing specialist. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Do me a favor, Mitch, babe. If you get a chance, my email is formerbbe@yahoo.com. Can you send me an email? I would appreciate that. Again, it's formerbbe@yahoo.com. formerbbe@yahoo.com. That's spelled FORMERBBE. B as in boy on both of those. BBE, Bad Boy Entertainment. That's an acronym for that, at yahoo.com. Send me an email. I'd like to know that. Because I know in New York, I would imagine that most of the workers and specialists are Black or Latino. But in Connecticut, it's a lot different. Most of them are white. They don't care about anybody unless they are white. I could tell this by calling the governor's office and they heard that my voice wasn't white. They, oh yeah, sure. I asked if they received it. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. You know, that's how they look at you. You know? So their question is even, well, why don't you go to your own people and ask them to help you? Let me ask you this, and Mitch, baby, you tell me if I'm lying, since you're part of HRA. Because I've said this before and people don't believe me. There's not one church of color in New York City, and I have not found one in Connecticut either, that offers the same services to the homeless that they do as white churches. At the white churches, you got the Pentecostal churches, you got the Baptist churches, you got all the white churches that literally have to take care of Black and Spanish people. Mind you, there are Black and Spanish churches all throughout the tri-state that are tax exempt because of their fucking status, and they don't hold beds for homeless Black and Spanish people. This is a fact. And if I'm lying, Mitch, babe, correct me. Correct me if I'm lying. There's not one Black church. And if y'all don't understand what I mean by that, even if you're in the system in Connecticut, Catholic church only. See that? See that? She said Catholic church only. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. That system is flawed because it's oversaturated right now because of the depth of homelessness. So that means a motherfucker like me that look like me, that look like they can take care of themselves. That's how they put it. Your last priority. And whatever the smallest that we have to offer you, that's what we're going to give you. Don't ask for nothing else, boy. So I'll raise my point again. If Kevin Samuels could see $3,500, and he wears nice suits, sits there, with candles burning and shit, demoralizes women, and the women keep calling in. I think some of these women like to be demoralized. I think some of these women like to be talked down too. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, because there ain't no damn way in hell I would sit there and call that man's show and have that man demoralize me to that extent. There ain't no damn way. So I say the girl, and then turn around and pay for it. Some of these girls is paying for it. That's the funny shit. Donating everything. This man raised $3,500, $3,200 maybe roughly last night alone on a 2-hour podcast talking about shit. And I'm not hating. Again, I'm not hating. I'm only pointing out the obvious. They give you crumbs. I have to say no more. Bitch Babe answered it for me. They give you crumbs. Yes, they do. They give you crumbs. Crumbs. And thank you, Mitch Babe, too. Thank you. Both times. You know what I mean? I don't even call out people when they donate to me. But when it's done and said and over with, what I do is I always make a post, always make a something to tell everybody thank y'all. Because if it wasn't for y'all the other day, I don't know where I would have went to. That money went towards paying for a room. And I'm probably going to be back in that room tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? And the night after that. Because I know when I go out there to meet this motherfucker tomorrow, it's going to be some BS. But I'm going to make sure I put those recordings up tonight so y'all can hear those and y'all understand where I'm coming from. Because it's some monkey shit in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? And I see it, and most of it is pointed towards racism. And I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what how anybody looks at it, or whatever. It is what it is. There's a priority that has been taken off of men of color in this situation, and I see it every day. And the second one that falls near after that is white men. If you come to New York, you come to Connecticut, if you come to especially Jersey, I think has got it worse. Jersey right now has got white men walking around the streets, drug-laden, and everything else, trying to grab women, everything else. And they're just walking around aimlessly, ain't nobody helping them. So white men and black men really are the ones that are seeing the bulk of the hardship of this whole pandemic. Oh my God, I just said that shit. Tell the truth, Davin. They don't care about people that are not on drugs and just need help. Exactly, they don't. And that's the way I felt. I felt that they don't not only not give a damn about people like that, like myself, but we are like the last to be serviced. Let's be clear, they will give you licenses, but jobs are asking for experience. Then you're stuck in line on your resume. And I'm not doing that. I worked in record companies for 16 years. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how to flip burgers. I did that when I was a teenager. I did one job after I got fired while I was putting up solar panels. I still got a mark on my eye from when I got hit with a solar panel. Is it on this side? I think it's on this one. Yeah, it's right there. I hit myself with a solar panel when we was putting them in. I didn't know what I was doing. And my boy, Doobie, shout out to Doobie, my boy Philly, he got me the job. So we was putting up solar panels, and we were responsible for not only building the tiers that the solar panels are placed on, but we also had to place the solar panels on there. And so when we put the solar panels on there, what happens is they have the electricians come in with a grid, and they hook all of them up, link all of them up, and it's a good deal. The licenses that they offered us, see, that's what I was saying. Like the place I was at, they offered this one thing. It was a culinary thing, and I wanted to do it. Funny thing was, the classes ain't start but every 2 months. So the classes are now starting right now at that place. And I was going to do that. We had already talked about that because I like to cook. When I got the space, I like to cook. Jada, you right. The money is only in AA and NYC. I don't know what AA stands for, but y'all tell me you need to be comfy and get sleep. You're fighting to survive. Yeah, I slept 4 hours last night. Anxiety started kicking in, you know, and you can't sleep. You can't sleep, homie. This is what it is, man. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here crying. I'm gonna come back to y'all in a little bit. I just had to vent a little bit, tell y'all about these white folks out there. You know what I'm saying? I probably need some vajay too. I definitely need to have sex. Ain't no ifs and buts about that. I need to have sex. Alcohol, yep. You need to become alcohol. This, see, and that's the other thing I brought up to that lady. Hey, I said, you rather have, I can end off with this. I said, you rather have drug addicts and alcoholics. And I told Fortuna this when I first met her, which was my social worker. I said, listen, I know, and this is exactly where I said it, and if I'm lying, God, strike me down. I told her when I first met her, I said, listen, I know y'all ain't gonna help me. The only thing I want you to do is just, can you get me into this program so I can get this joint going, all right? Now, the program she's told me that I've been accepted for, I would only pay 30% of my rent. This is what she told me before she left, all right? They claim they need some more paperwork. I got them every piece of paperwork they need. Let me make that clear. Everything that was asking me, I did. The only reason I'm out of that homeless shelter right now is because I took the initiative and went down to a place to see where I was supposed to be transferred, what was going on. And when I get there, the fucking facility is closed. So what were you transferring me to? CT told me to have a baby to receive state cash assistance. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. Connecticut has a problem with people of color as far as when you ask for something. If you just that Joe that comes to work every day and you do what you're supposed to be. I don't know why this is so hard for people to understand. That's the shit that gets me. But I told the lady when I first got there, I said, listen, I know you're not gonna do much of anything to help me. You understand what I'm saying? I said, I guarantee you at the end of this, I'm not gonna have nothing. She said, no, that's not true. We help everybody, we do. Tried to give me this record they had, track record and all this. That shit's a joke. Get the fuck out of here. That's exactly what it was. It was a setup for failure. Listen, Miss Bates, she says she works in the system, so she knows exactly what I'm talking about. And this has happened repeatedly over and over and over and over and over again. Not just with me, but with many others. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll ask y'all this question before I hop off of here. Y'all have the right to put y'all money wherever y'all want to, and that's none of my business. But what I will say is this. People that would donate $3,200 to a man that's wearing nice jackets, white suits in almost every video, is laying down in a comfortable environment, eating well, obviously, and to another man that's a multi-millionaire that tours still currently, if people would rather donate to them than a man that's homeless and staying in a fucking hotel right now because a white homeless shelter system that failed him, lied to him about him being switched to somewhere, and hoped and betted that I would take off on my own, go down there, and then there would be no facility open. That's why you couldn't get in contact with nobody, because they're not open. And then when I go take the initiative and go down there myself, because you've already told me there's a date for me to leave by. And if I don't leave by that date, then I'm left with nothing. What am I supposed to do? And when I explain this to the white facilities, when I explain this to everybody, including the governor's office now 4 times, and written him a letter, to no avail do I see anything. So yeah, I'm gonna reach out to the people, and I'm gonna ask the people, and I'm gonna say to the people this. I hope to God y'all don't see something happen to me, or I go to jail, get hurt, whatever the case may be from being out here in these streets, you know. And for the most part, most people don't give a shit anyway. You know, they'd rather see that'd be the big finale for most of them. I'm not gonna get on here and cry. I'm not gonna get on here and do anything, but I'm gonna get that money. I'm gonna get that money, and I'm gonna get the hell out of the Northeast. So help me God. Because if I don't do it with y'all, please share this video. Share it with somebody y'all know that's wealthy, got a couple extra dollars to spend or whatever. Let them make their own decision. Pass them along my Cash App. Pass them along my PayPal, and be like, yo, this brother need help. He ain't begging. He just needs some help to get up on his own. You know what I'm saying? And after that, I can take it from there. But this Northeast, I'm done. Got you. Definitely, Jada. Make sure you do that. It's crazy. It's the one with the bad boy emblem. You'll see Revolt and Bad Boy. That's me. Revolt and Bad Boy. Remember that. I'm standing in front of a plaque. Okay. That's all I got to say, man. Guys, I will see y'all in a little bit. I got another live for y'all. We're going to go off on Nancy, and we're going to talk about the Zoe and what's the name shit that happened, because I'm very upset at not only Corey, but Zoe too. And you know, Corey, I'm going to say this to you one time right here, say it again. Corey, you collecting a lot of damn money. You got a lot of damn followers. I saw you within 12 hours have 127,000 views on your page. Ain't no reason you should be yelling at Zoe. Ain't no reason you should be yelling at Darlene. They've been with you from day one, the day ones. And regardless of what they did, you done did a whole bunch of messed up shit yourself, Corey. You understand what I'm saying? Corey, you ain't never even, you know what I'm saying, had the audacity to turn around and say, hey, thank you, man, for sharing my post or anything else to me. And I done came to your shows and everything else, nigga. Say I didn't. You wasn't at Salsa Con Fuego. Look me right in my eye as you was walking past me. You knew who I was and I knew who you were. So let's not play the game here and be like Zoe is all at fault. I think Zoe's a good man. I think Zoe busts his ass. I think Zoe does what he can do. And I think the things that you said about that man on that show last night was completely wrong. You had no right to say, put out that man's business that he lived with his lady. You had no right to put out there what that man's financial situation was. You tried to make that man feel like he was less than a man because you were up. And you did that based on the donations you were getting and a whole bunch of other things. And I have to question you as a multi-millionaire. If you were making fun of Zoe for taking donations and then later on in the game you start taking donations, you're not making sense. And you were one of those people that was making fun of Zoe, just like people make fun of me. You on here begging. That's what you told Zoe. Guys, my Cash App is $STRINGERBELL80. Even if you don't donate, if you know somebody that will, please pass them my way. You understand what I'm saying? If they don't like Cash App, there's a PayPal link as well. If you don't like me, you don't like what I'm saying, that's cool. But at least point me in the direction of somebody that can help. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not putting my GoFundMe on Facebook. You know why I don't put my GoFundMe on Facebook? I tried Facebook before, and being that I have so much, I've been on Facebook since 2007. So my whole chronological history from 2007 had been on there. Pictures, all that stuff. All the pictures I put up in the community section, they were from there. You know what I'm saying? The other thing is my GoFundMe just got reinstated. And with my GoFundMe being reinstated because somebody had made a fraudulent page talking about they were raising money for me. Never contacted me, never nothing. So when I went to go cash my money out, they told me, well, wait. We got 2 things with your name on them, and we're trying to figure out. So they did an investigation. I said, I don't know nothing about the other one. Now, mind you, that other one, they collected almost $1,400+. They probably would have kept going if I wouldn't have caught it. And I'm like, motherfuckers really went out of their way and created a GoFundMe in my name and probably had no intentions of giving me a dime of it. So based on that, GoFundMe wouldn't let me cash my money out. So they did an investigation, whatever. All the people that had donated to that other one, I guess they refunded their money back. So all them people got their money back. Thank God for that. So I wasn't entangled in that and looked like, oh, this motherfucker running the scam. You know how folks do. So I said, thank God for that. GoFundMe has now told me that I have to wait at least 30 days before I can even see that money move out of there because that's just the way their system works. And I said, okay. So that means it won't even be until February something where I see that. I think it was like $700 in there or something like that or whatever. And that's cool. It's just saved to the side. I know that's there, you know what I'm saying, to add on to whatever else I get. But no, I'm not messing with GoFundMe right now. It's just strictly Cash App and PayPal. Both of them are safe. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a Cash App account, my link will get you $10 back. PayPal, y'all know that's ran by Google, so we ain't even got to question that. And in most cases, I would say that's more efficient than GoFundMe, because GoFundMe, they make you go through a lot of strings. I had to go through a lot of phone calls and strings or whatever to get my GoFundMe situation straight. And I'm glad it is, and I appreciate that they knew I was telling the truth and believed me. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that stuck out the most is when I gave them the route numbers. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, first thing, this ain't even my route number to my bank. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I've been getting screwed a lot, but it's all good. It's all good. My time will come. You know what I'm saying? And God definitely with me. The good people that do donate to me and look out for me, I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. I really do. And forget my history in the music business and all that. That shit's over. You understand what I'm saying? This is a new beginning. And I just don't mess with GoFundMe on Facebook because I tried that before and it was just like, they was just looking at me strange or whatever. To here, I'm a new face to many of y'all, and to others, I'm an old face to many of them. So, All right, guys, I'm gonna be back with y'all in a few minutes here. I'm gonna go hop on this train and go to New York real quick, see what's going on up there. Probably stop at Trader Joe's or whatever. Jersey's kind of boring, so you know. But thank you guys so much. And like I said, even if you don't donate yourself, hit those like buttons too. But even if you don't donate yourself, just pass it on to somebody you know that's got money or whatever. Let them hear out what they hear out for themselves. But I'm sorry, that time has passed for me putting my belief in a white system around white people that have no intention on helping anybody of color, especially a man of color. They'll help a woman of color, but they ain't helping no man of color. And right now, we're being so demonized in society, like that broad, whatever her name is, that try to link Kanye West with a man and say that Kanye West was cheating on his wife. Like this is, they find it so easy to do, and people so easy to pick up, and come to find out this girl was lying, you know what I mean, about Kanye and Jeffree Star. They find it so easy to pick on us or whatever, because of the financial situation that many of us are in. And a lot of people are trying to pretend like they're getting it like that right now. You pulling right up into the projects, homie. All right? You pulling right up into that little Section 8. Yeah, it is what it is. You know, I don't know how much money they get from the state, if we're talking about the same thing as far as the homeless shelters and stuff like that, but they're getting a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? But the particular homeless shelter I was at was ran by a church. And this church, it seems, they had one person I later found out that was actually a high member in the church working in the shelter. And I guess, you know, they just do their books and chains, you know? They don't care. The only thing they want to do, they want a face to show in front of everybody in their church congregation. You see how severely depressed and severely homeless this man was? Look at him. His jacket was hanging off of him. It was so bad. They want to help that guy. Because in front of the cameras, in front of the staff, in front of other eyes, it looks like they saved the day. You know, and that's a true meaning of it. Now, if you mean about YouTubers scamming, yeah. Do I think Kevin Samuels one of them? Nah, I don't think he's a scammer. I think he's just doing what he's doing. I think he's honest. And like I said, one more time, before anybody run over and tell Kevin Samuels, if anything, tell Kevin Samuels to donate to me. You know what I'm saying? You made $3,200 last night, nigga. Donate to somebody. Lord, they putting on that show. I don't know what that means, Cocoa Butter Bobby, but yeah, they definitely is liars. You know what I'm saying? I've caught this woman now 3 times, but y'all hear it all when I put up the recordings. That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely not putting my faith in this white man tomorrow that I'm supposed to be meeting in the place I was supposed to be going to anyway, but all of a sudden he has to do an orientation and reiterate me into the program. You know why he's doing that? Because he don't have no intentions on helping me in the first place. He can't even help the people that's there right now. So if y'all don't understand what I'm saying, I'm blowing, son. Fuck that. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank y'all so much. Again, it's $STRINGERBELL80. If y'all want to donate, donate. If y'all don't, just stay in tune with me. Hit the like button. The church runs the homeless shelter, and they're not helping anybody. They're just doing it like, I looked in there and I saw all these little awards they had on the wall and all that shit. I'm like, what you get an award for? All this stuff had to be pre-COVID. You know what I mean? But I'll talk about that another time. You know, it just makes me depressed, and my anxiety is waking up, and have me a cigarette, jump on a train, go to New York, and just enjoy the rest of the day. That's it. And bring y'all some more material. All right? I'm mad, I'm depressed, I'm anxious. But you know what? Motherfucking sun shining. Something coming. I'll talk to you guys later.